Hello and welcome everybody. This is your commentator Mo's back here to more Hearthstone. And this is going to be a new series that goes alongside my taking my free-to-play deck to Legend. But this is going to be where I do like a showcase type of series, kind of like what Force does over on his channel, Force Gaming, where he takes some of the meta decks that people have been playing and takes them through and showcases the deck to you guys, so you could see the deck in action. And I thought I'd do the same for some of the decks that I came up with. And the first deck that we're going to take a look at is a Naxxramas enhanced Shadow Priest deck. And I wanted to see how this deck fared up against the meta because it hasn't been in the meta for a long time, and I wanted to see how it does, and it does all right. So let's just get into the basics of the deck before I get into the game for this video. So, we got some early game card draw to help us draw into our gimmick, which is the Shadow Form. If you guys don't know what the Shadow Form is, it's a 3-drop that changes your hero power from restore 2 health to deal 2 damage. And we have ways to draw into that, from the Power Word Shield to the Northshire Cleric, the Loot Hoarder, and the Azure Drake. And as I said, we're using those cards to be able to draw into our Shadow Form, and just other cards that will help us survive long enough in the game so we can get set up. And then we have our early drop minions that we can use to deal that damage, since we're kind of like a rush, mid-rangey kind of Shadow Priest deck. And those minions are the Argent Squire, the Haunted Creeper, and the Shade of Naxxramas. And then we have our late game, or mid to late game cards that are enders that we are looking for, from Leroy Jenkins to Fugan and Stalag. So yeah, let's just get into the game for this video and let's take a look at the deck in action. And for this video, we're going to be going up. For this showcase video, we're going to be going up against a Warlock. And this deck can do work against Zoo, if it is Zoo, if we draw into our Shadow Form a lot earlier than we would normally play it. Because there are times in which because you got to think, yeah, like I said, like I was going to say, there are times when you should play Shadow Form, when you shouldn't play Shadow Form. So yeah, so this hand, it's not the greatest hand. I think we drop the Chill One Yeti, the Mind Blast, and the Holy Fire, and we keep the Loot Hoarder for turn 2. And because we need to draw into our Shadow Form, and we need to also draw into more early game, like the Argent Squire and the Haunted Creeper, and even the Northshire Cleric. And we got our Shadow Form, we got our Argent Squire, and we got a Shade of Naxxramas. So this is a good hand. This is a good hand. Because we can turn 1 Argent Squire, we can turn 2 coin out the Shade, or we can play the Loot Hoarder, and we got an Azure Drake. So I'm thinking this turn we're just gonna play the Argent Squire and pass turn, see what he has. Since he didn't play a turn 1, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be playing Handlock, which Handlock, we have ways to play against Handlock, but no, he's just playing Zoo because he's got the Haunted Creeper. Okay, so we gotta play Shadow Form as early as we can. I could coin into Shadow Form, or I could coin the Shade of Naxxramas, or I can even play Loot Hoarder. First things first, we're gonna deal 1 damage to him. Then I think we have to play Loot Hoarder.
Mind if I roll me?
Just because we can get card draw, and we have the Holy Nova, because it'll be awesome. Because the combination of Azure Drake plus the Holy Nova is awesome. And there's another Haunted Creeper. All right. Now, do we play the Shade? We could Shade, coin, and keep our Argent Squire from the shield, from the powered shield, or we could Shadow Form, coin, shield, or we could just Shadow Form or just play the Shade. Let's see. Do I start developing the Shade now? And then turn 4 we can play Shadow Form. We can keep the coin, and then we coin Azure Drake next turn, and then we can play Holy Fire turn 5. That seems like a better idea. So we're gonna hit. Hey,
give me that.
And I think we developed the Shade of Nox, and then I think we developed the Shade of Naxxramas. Do we though? Because Shadow Form is like a free Shadow Word Pain. But I'm gonna keep the heal for now, so I'm gonna develop the shade right now.
Quickly.
Because against Zoo you need to keep the heal as early as you can as well. But it's also nice to play Shadow for him. That's what I was contemplating.
The scourge will consume.
So he's playing Baron Rivendare. Alright, this is a weird version of Zoo. It's a Death Rattle Zoo. So I think we coin out the Holy Nova here? Because of all this? I think I have to coin out the Holy Nova. Yeah. And then we deal our 3 damage to the Baron Rivendare, right? Yeah. Because we want to get the thing off the board as quickly as we can. But we joined to a Yeti, so we're okay there. So I'm happy about that. So he's playing Stalag. So what I can do here is I can Holy Smite into a Yeti, or I could play the Drake. I think I Holy Smite, kill off his Baron, and play Yeti. That's seeming like the better idea. Or I can even play Shadow or Death. Yeah, that seems better. Because next turn we can Azure Drake Power Shield. I think is what we're gonna do right here. Oh yeah, because we don't want to waste the Holy Fire just yet. So we're gonna Drake and Powered Shield to get more card draw. And we get another Powered Shield. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Because we got things for next turn. We can Yeti. So he's playing Knife Juggler.
My shield for Argus.
He's playing Defender of Argus, so I think we have the Holy Fire now. I think. Maybe. If he hits us, we'll Holy Fire. Oh, we don't have to right now. No. We just drew into a Holy Nova. So what I can do is Holy Nova and then kill off this iteration of the Sludge Belcher. And save our Holy Fire. Yeah, I think we do that. And because we can do things after that. Yeah. And I think we play another Powered Shield on this guy. Yeah, we can get more card draw. Then we get another Drake. Awesome. So he's tapping, looking for something. I don't know what he's looking for in this deck.
Oh, the Lich King!
So he's got Spectral Knight. Alright. So we can do things. We got Fugan. We don't need to play Fugan just yet. We can play Shadow for him and then kill off his 1/2. I think we are gonna do. Then we Azure Drake and Mind Blast to deal all that damage.
My shield for Argus.
And Defender of Argus. Alright. That's fine. Because we got Stalag. So what I'm thinking about doing is Azure Drake Yeti or even Stalag Yeti. I think I'm going to Stalag and Yeti. Because he's going to run his Spectral Knight into our Stalag. And then we can do things after that.
So many.
So let's see what he's gonna do here.
possibilities.
Because we didn't want to play the Azure Drake, because the Azure Drake just dies to the Spectral Knight, and we need that spell power plus the card draw. We get the card draw anyways, but we need the spell power for our Holy Fire.
Possibilities.
Because if he doesn't do anything here, we can kill his Spectral Knight with Yeti, kill his egg with Stalag, play Azure Drake, but then the Azure Drake just dies to this thing. Then we play Fukin instead, and our opponent just leaves. All right. So that wasn't the best game where we used our Shadow Form, but it was a game where we did what we needed to do. So now let's take a look at the deck. So here we are with our Shadow Priest deck, and let's get into it. So we have 2 Holy Smites because it's great removal for stuff like Zoo. It's like stuff in Zoo, like Knife Juggler, the Flame Imp, and yeah. And then, like I said, we have 2 Power Word Shield, and then we have 2 Power Word Shield because it's nice to give something 2 health to keep it alive, maybe, and to also draw some cards so we can get closer to what we need in this deck. We have our early, like I said, we have our early game. 2 Argent Squire and 2 Northshire Cleric. The Argent Squire is just a great minion to play on turn 1 because it forces your opponent to play cards to get rid of it. And the Northshire Cleric because if we're not in Shadow Form, the Cleric is nice to get all that card draw. Then we're running 2 Mind Blasts so we can just deal all that damage straight to the face. So that's what we're trying to do once we get into Shadow Form, is just go right for his face. Then we got some other small minions that help us in the early game, like Haunted Creeper, which is great because even if it dies, we get those 2 Spectral Spiders, and we get the Loot Hoarder, which is a nice card draw card when it dies anyways. Then we have so starting our removal, we have 2 Shadow Word Death. We're not running Shadow Word Pain because, like I mentioned during the game, Shadow Form acts as a Shadow Word Pain that I can play every turn. But Shadow Word Death is there to help us clear things that we can't normally clear when we're in Shadow Form. And then we have just an annoying minion that we have here, the Shade of Naxxramas. As I said, he is annoying because he gains +1 every turn, and if we leave him in stealth, then our opponent can't do anything with it. We're running only 1 Yeti. Before this, I was running 2 Yeti, and I think 2 Yeti it wasn't too much, but we just needed room for other things in this deck that helped us. And then we're running Leroy Jenkins because Leroy Jenkins, come on, in like a rush mid-style deck, Leroy Jenkins is a great end game card. Then we're running 2 Holy Novas. It's great removal for stuff like the Unleash the Hounds combo in Hunter, all the stuff in Zoo, but sometimes things in Zoo don't get removed because they're 3 health, which is why we're also running Azure Drake, because Azure Drake gets that card draw and then allows us to also buff up our Holy Nova to 3 damage. And then we're running combos, a small combo in this deck as well, in Fugan and Stalag. I mean, Fugan and Stalag, as you saw, we used Stalag to save the Azure Drake, the Azure Drake that we were gonna play before, but then Stalag's just there because we're just there to also just get rid of these are mainly just used to get rid of stuff on board that we can't get rid of with our Shadow Form hero ability. And if they happen to die, we get Thaddeus. So yeah, and then we're running one of the best removal cards in Priest, which is the Holy Fire. It also can be used to end games and remove big minions. So yeah, that's our Shadow Priest deck. Hope y'all enjoyed. I may do another video showing off some more games with the Shadow Priest deck. But for now, this has been your Commentator Moods. Hope y'all enjoyed, as I said. I'll see you back here for more Hearthstone. Maybe even for more Pokemon. Anyways, peace. And good night, everybody.